Hi, this is JR with videos about how to day trade using MTPredictor for NinjaTrader. Please remember that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are taken. They are shown for illustration and training purposes only. There is a risk of loss in trading and investing. All trade decisions are at your sole discretion and your responsibility. Losses can occur and they will occur. And past performances do not guarantee future results. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's just dive into the video. Good morning, this is JR and this morning I wanted to just show you how you could have used MTPredictor yesterday to quickly pick up a recommended trade that MTPredictor put on the screen for you. So I just wanted to run through that really quickly, show you how you could use these tools to snap the pieces together, sort of a top-down analysis that lands you in a obvious spot to place a trade and keeps you out of trades that you shouldn't be in. So if you'll just look for some of the ingredients of this trade that I'm going to show you, you'll see that looking for these ingredients will often keep you out of bad trades. It'll help get you into the right ones and keep you out of the wrong ones. So just keep that in mind as you watch. So I'm just going to start here because this is a good place to start without having to go back for weeks and days. We'll just start here. And what I want to point out is that what is the trend? The trend is down. Okay, you can see that this high is lower obviously than the previous high, and then the next low is lower than this previous low. Okay, then you got another high, it's lower than that high. Then you got another low, it's lower than that low back there. Right, and so forth and so on, another lower high. Now what we can be doing all along here is forecasting where the market might go by putting our decision points on the chart. That is one way to use those decision points. You can look at them as targets, you can look at them as entry points, you can look at them as places where you do nothing. It just depends on what the market tells us when we get there, and there's a dozen different scenarios, so that's why I do these videos, to try and cover some of these different scenarios and how you can use MTPredictor in unique situations to locate trades. So these decision points are key in that process. So we've got some decision points sitting there. We come down, we make another high. It's a little bit lower. If we want, we can do a decision point here too. Okay, we've got a little bit lower set. Okay, now here I've got another high. I can put another set of decision points there. All right, now finally price comes and it touches this first decision point location. Now that's important. What's more important though is that when it checked into that decision point, it took out this most recent high. So this is the first time, instead of making a lower high, this is the first time that we've made a higher high. So this downtrend over here is now broken. This is called a break of structure. Any of you that are ICT students or followers, you know, or if you've learned anything about ICT, you'll know that he calls this a break of structure. Right, so that means that I'm not really in the market to short anymore. After that break, I'm in the market to get long. All right, now with MTPredictor, this is to help us utilize Elliott waves. So this is how I can use Elliott wave and or MTPredictor and ICT methods together to locate trades. So we know that we've got a break of structure. Now, what else do we know? Well, if this is the end of the down wave, then the beginning of the new wave up has got to be wave one. That's all it could be. It could only be wave one. Mathematics don't work out any other way. At the end of the down wave, then the new wave comes, the new trend comes, it's wave one. So I've always told you in my videos that I want to get in at the end of wave two or B, because B could end up being a wave two and C could end up being a wave 3. It just depends on what degree of an Elliott wave you're in, and you really kind of never actually know. It's a little bit subjective. So that's why if you're at the end of wave 2 or B, whichever one it is, you're in the right spot. Because wave 3 or wave C is going to be the biggest wave in the Elliott wave sequence if everything goes according to odds and probabilities. And that's all that we can count on is odds and probabilities. We want to stack them in our favor. Alright, so I've got wave 1. So what I want to know is, okay, well, where is wave 2 or wave B going to end? Because that's where I want to get in. So I'm simply going to go down to the bottom right here at this swing and I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose manual WPT down, and I go wave 2 or B. All right, now over here on the left hand side it tells me select beginning of wave 1 bar. Well, the beginning of wave 1 is where? It's right here. So I'm going to click there, and then it tells me to select the end of the wave 1 bar. So I'm going to click at the end of wave 1, and it gives me that wave 2 projection. Just grab it and drag it over there, and you can see how the market pulls right down into it. Right down into it. Now what I'm looking for is about the halfway point of this zone. That's really where I want to look at getting in the market, is halfway into that zone. So we got in right here, we got it halfway into the zone right there. That would be a place that you could get long, and it moved up quickly and gave you a nice little profit. So that would have been an okay trade if you were just sitting right there ready to go. Now the other thing that's important that I want to mention here, because this is key, not only do we have the wave 2 or wave B projection, but let's go back to ICT methods for a minute. We've got a big gap right here between yesterday's close and today's open. Or well, this was actually yesterday's, so between day before and yesterday's open, we've got a big gap right there. Well, this wave 2 falls partially in that gap. So we know that there's some support going on there because of that, because we have the big gap, we have the wave 2 projection, all right? And if we hold on for a minute here, if you got in there, you're okay. But the last thing that happens is I get a cyan colored hollow candle with a TS1 trade signal. So I have three elements that have come together right there. So we've gone from top down, right? We saw the minute that the structure was broken and the market became bullish. We saw the location on the chart where we wanted to trade. We saw the test of the zone, of the gap, I mean. Okay, pulled into the zone, tested the gap, got our cyan color candle, got the TS1. What else can you do except get long right there? Okay, so if we want to analyze this trade using MTPredictor, let it help us a little bit, we'll just right click on the signal there and do analyze trade setup, and it'll tell you over here get long at 17,537. Initial risk is 17,554, so you can pull some profits off the table very quickly there if you want to. And then your final risk to reward is 2.7 with a $2,632 profit on that trade. Now these are micro contracts. It's saying go long 28 contracts, but that's going to be based on your account size, and you could go long 1 if you want to, or 5 or 10 or whatever you want. But that's just what it's recommending, the way that it manages your money. So take that with a grain of salt or follow it to the letter of the law. However you want to approach that, that's fine. It also shows you where your stop needs to be. So it automatically calculates your risk to reward ratio for you, and it shows you, where those stop levels need to be, worst case scenario. Okay, it shows you where your target levels need to be. So if you wanted to extend that target out to the top of this next decision point, well, by golly, you would have done even better. But that's how easy it is to go top down, look at your structure, look at where your signal comes into play, put everything together, and when you have that confluence, get on board, put your stop in, and be patient. If you're interested in doing a 2-week trial, just go to the link in my YouTube channel page. It's right here. It's underneath my name and whatnot. MTPredictor.com 2-week trial JR. You can go ahead and click on that. If you have any questions or you need to talk to me, you can shoot me an email at jrmtpredictor@gmail.com. Hope that helps you. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.